Hi, this is Candis, and you're watching thinkingiseverything.com. And today I wanted to come and talk to you guys about problems, because we seem to think that we should be without them. So I've come to the conclusion, and the conclusion is when you're dead, you'll lose all your problems. So you're supposed to work while the day is young, while the day is present. So some say the more problems you have, the more alive you are. So I'll leave that up to you to be the judge. But what I can tell you is once you start living your life on purpose, once you do find or stumble upon your purpose, once you are through in your seeking of purpose and you feel like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be, this is when your life really starts to unravel. And I'm speaking from personal experience. I'm Candis, and I am a professional problem solver. So the question is, why do people believe that they shouldn't have problems? And why do some people have more problems than other people? So let's answer. First of all, problems, situations where you have to find solutions is part of the essence of life. The more in tune you are with being able to really not so much hands-on solve problems, but vocally solve problems. So I'm an informed communicator, which means basically I'm able to deduce things to small matters. So how do I do this? First of all, I treat everything the same, which is this is not happening. And so if I believe that this is not happening, then I'm going to assert or enforce my energy to what is happening. This is what's going to happen. So when things arise in your life, the first thing you need to do is not say, why is this happening? Oh my God. You're just sending energy that kind of makes that issue a real one. So just because something is presented to you doesn't mean that it's real. It could be just like a little test. You know how you look at somebody and then you look away and then you look back to see if they were looking at you. So you're kind of just testing the waters. So when we have something, when someone brings something to you, when a problem occurs in your life, you have to decide, is this real for you? So if you don't want to inflame, magnify the problem, you want to magnify yourself, then you're going to rearrange what you're looking at. And this is how you're going to do it. A big issue. Problems. People don't like to have problems. And I can understand it. A problem is something our society has deemed as inappropriate, no place, not tolerable, and things of that nature. Think about the terms that we use. Problem child. When we think about a problem child, that's a child we don't want to deal with, a child that is unruly. So when we think about the word problem, I think the first thing we should do is look it up. So if you have your computer, I'm going to go to dictionary.com. Type it in. And problem. Let's see what it says a problem is. Because how we define our words defines our life. And it defines the power that's behind it when we use the word. So, problem. A problem is a question proposed for solution or discussion. So a problem is a question proposed for solution or discussion. What is a question? A question is a quest that we are embarking upon. So whenever there is a problem, we are embarking on a quest, which, might I add, already has a solution. Let's look at this. So the first thing is, whenever we have something that occurs, a problem, a quest that we've been asked to embark upon, the first thing is we need to know that whatever we're looking at, whatever we're perceiving this problem to be, is not the full scope or reality. Just think of it like this. Everyone sees an accident occur, and each person is going to have their own record or account of events. So keep this in mind whenever you have a problem that occurs. Just know that there are a million ways to look at the situation. So the first thing we need to magnify is our ability to handle the situation. We can go to the Bible. No man is going to be given more than he can handle, more than he can answer, more than he can solution. Okay, so whenever you are hit with a situation, which we should not be blindsided, because this is life, it's going on, there are going to be things that occur that force you to solve something. Okay, so whenever that issue, or whatever you want to call it, problem comes up, the first thing we need to realize is how we are thinking about the issue, the problem, the circumstance. Okay, and just know, as you're looking to change the way that you look at problems, change the way you look at this quest that you've been asked to embark upon, other people are not going to be interested in your newfound perception. So this is a individual, single, solitary walk. Okay, and it all starts in the brain, how we think, how we frequency. Okay, so am I able? So can you? Are you able? That's the first thing you need to ask yourself, because it doesn't matter what you're dealing with, you're always going to have to start with the ability to do something about it. So can you honestly say, no matter what comes to you, no matter what you're presented with, can you say right now to yourself that you can and you're able? That's the most important thing, if not everything, but that's where we must start. Okay, and like I said, it can be anything from an issue with your spouse, an issue with the job, an issue with your automobile, an issue with your child, an issue with your health. Any type of problem that you've been presented with, that you've been asked to quest or embark upon, it's going to start with, are you able? Can you? Forget the blank that comes afterwards. Can you? Can, are you able? So let's look at the word can. Okay, I love dictionary.com, guys. I hope you have your dictionary.com open. So when we look at the word can, it's to know how to. You have to believe that the source within you is very much alive and very much able. So that's where you're getting the belief that you can and that you know how to. You just have to know it. Accept that as truth. So if you're not able to start here and accept these things, we can go no further. And the problem will be magnified instead of you. So with these problems, we're looking to magnify, okay, the Christ within us. We're looking to magnify the can ability within us. We're thinking today. Are you ready? So when we talk about being able to, love words. When we talk about being able, we're talking about an adept ability. We're talking about a cunning, a smart, a strong ability. We're talking about a capability, okay? We're talking about being competent. So can and able are very similar in their makeup. So that's where we start. And I can go on and on from that place of feeling like you can and feeling like you're able. So that's the first frequency of thought that you must take into that quest, that you must take into that embark upon for this problem that you've been asked to solve, no matter what it is. Now, a lot of us, of course, most of us, we have emotions and we feel a certain way. Either we're attached to the problem or the people involved in that problem, and we get a little foggy. We get a little tunnel vision where we're not able to see our ability or feel our ability. That is okay. Okay? And if you need to feel those emotions for a second, then you go ahead. Do I recommend it? No. I recommend putting things in their proper place. Okay? And I recommend outthinking yourself. I recommend immediately when you are given a problem to solve that you step immediately into this position of power. So this immediate step into your position of power produces one thing. One thing it produces: the energy to move forward. So you don't have to feel like you can. You have to know that you can. So that means it requires a state of mind that goes beyond what you feel like. Because I may not feel what I'm being asked to embark upon that I can do. But what I can do is know that I can, and know that I'm able, and concentrate on that. And if that takes me a few minutes, if it takes me a few hours, if it takes me a few days, I'm going to concentrate on that. I'm going to put my mental ability, my mental stamina on two things. I can, and I'm able. Now, once you're ready to move past that, we can visualize the product of being able to. I can, and I'm able to do what? To walk into the frequency, the energy of what happens next. So again, it's how we're thinking about the situation. So the first thing is, there is no problem, it's only solutions. I'm being asked to perform a solution. I'm being asked to take a stance and produce. I'm being asked to turn over fruit. So where does my mind need to be? My mind needs to be in a position of joy, peace, meekness, gentleness, okay? The fruits of the Spirit, love. Against such things, there is no law. There is no wall. So we have to go from being bound to the constraints of this problem to being free to move forward. Okay? So now we're talking about setting the captive free. Who's the captive? You are. So how do we set ourselves free? Once we're in that position of power and we say we can and we're able to, we've moved into a position of power. How do we operate in that position of power? By the fruits of the Spirit, and we can simplify it to one: love. There's no wall. There's no law. There's no parameters. Okay? So let's go back to dictionary.com, because I really like to break things down as simple as possible. Okay? So let's look up the word law. So a law is the controlling influence of such rules, the condition of society brought about by their observance. Wow. So a law is based on the condition of society brought about by, we can say the collective observance. So remember what I told you at the beginning of this video. It's going to take solitude. It's going to take standing alone, okay? On your thoughts, standing up in one place, okay? So we said that we're operating this power of being able to, and that can-do attitude. We're operating from a place of love. Why? Because there is no wall. There is no parameter. There is no law. There is no general consensus of condition based on society, because we're in another area. We've moved outside of general what society says. We've moved out of that. So we're no longer looking at a problem as an issue. We're looking at a problem as an embark upon, as a quest we've been asked to go on by ourselves. Because it's our will, it's our intellect, it's our imagination that we're acting out, that we're seeing before us. So this embark upon was brought upon us for the evolving of ourselves, okay? And if you guys have heard or involved yourself in the Labor of Love report, there's a video down below here on thinkingiseverything.com that tells you about your Labor of Love report. And one thing we know about the Labor of Love report, which reveals you to you and tells you how you should be using your time, it is a labor of love that involves evolving. It involves evolving. So as we think about problems, we're now looking at problems as a quest, as an embark upon. We're positioning ourselves in power by knowing first that we can and we're able. And once we're in that place, we're operating under the influence of love. Self-love first, because we can't do anything. We can't solve anything. We can't move forward in our lives if we have no love for self. So that love for self is a place that has to be mastered. So when we're dealing with our problems, we know that that problem, that embark upon, is not going to consume me. It's going to magnify me because I love myself. So I'm not going to bring anything upon myself that doesn't put me in a position of greater or greatest. I'm not going down, I'm only going up. So once we're operating from that place of love for ourselves and we're then extending that to the other people around us, the walls have fallen away. Now, this is not a believing system. This is a knowing system. This is an action behind system. This is a moving forward in these principles system. I'm not asking you to believe anything. I'm asking you to know. So you can go ahead and look up these words, and you can go as far as to go and look up the Hebrew and the Greek of these words, and so you can get a better understanding or a better overstanding. But I told you, I like to simplify things. So we've taken a problem and turned it into an embark upon, into a journey in empowering ourselves and loving ourselves. What? So now that we know where we are and we're operating in love from that place, this is where the magic happens. Because as we're doing this thing, as we're aligning ourselves on that frequency, things start to happen outside of us. We've unlocked doors. So now, what's next? We know that we can, we know that we're able, and we're operating in a position of love. Well, we know that the walls have come down and that we are boundless, okay? And now we have placed ourselves into the realm of Source, into the realm of God, into the realm of unlimitless, okay? Now, the problem may or may not still be there, but it's a matter of how you're looking at it. How can the problem be there when you're limitless? How can the problem be there when you're unlimited? How can the problem be there when you are operating in love, joy, peace, meekness, gentleness? Against such, there is no law, no parameters, no controlling influences. Now you're ready to be the controlling influence. Now you're ready to accept the flow, the surge, the charge of frequencies that align with your new place. Now your disciples have come to sup with you. What are your disciples? Your reversing force energy that comes in and undoes. What does it undo? Your stinking thinking. It opens up your thoughts to new patterns. It gives you brand new ideas. It gives you these ideas that not only solves this problem, but the problems of a lot of other people. It gives you a solution to take your business that was not doing well to flourishing. It gives you the solution to take what you thought was a negative balance into a positive one. Because you're open. Closed mouths, closed frequencies, closed emotions, closed minds don't get fed. So you've elevated yourself. Now, everything that we see around us was first a thought. That's simple. We can understand that. We can overstand that. There is nothing that you see, including myself, that was not a thought, a frequency, an energy first. So with that in mind, all of our solutions are on the frequency that we need to tap into. And like I told you, now that you've taken these steps to get you to this space, to get you to this unlimited position, you're ready to move forward. So what do we do now? Now we can see ourselves on the other side of the journey, because we're going somewhere, right? So let's take a moment and see what the other side of this journey is going to look like. You ready? Let's do some meditation. So the first thing I want you to do is to get comfortable. Take a deep breath. And when you take that deep breath in, I want you to hold it for a second. And when you let it out, I want you to say 3, 3, 3 while imagining the number 3. And we're going to do that for 3, 2, and 1. Okay? Ready? Deep breath in. I'm imagining the number 3. I'm using my imagination to visualize with my eyes closed. And next, deep breath in. 2, 2. Last deep breath in. 1. And what this is doing is getting you more relaxed. So the next thing I want you to do is envision a black velvet curtain. And you are sitting in a very comfortable seat. And next to you is a bucket. In that bucket, numbers 1 through 10. Starting with number 1, I want you to envision yourself picking up the number 1, walking over to the black velvet curtain and placing the number 1 on the curtain. And then I want you to take the number down, go back to your seat, and drop the number in your bucket. And I want you to do that for numbers 1 through 10. Go ahead. Get started. Next, I want you to see yourself walking down a long hallway. And as you're walking down this hallway, you get to some steps. Okay? It's 10 steps. Let's walk down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now before you stands a door. And on the other side of this door, you are. It's the you who has not only mastered embark upon, has not only mastered the journey, but they are joyfully, they are peacefully, they are gently in a space. So when you open this door, I want you to see yourself performing the activity that solves the embark upon. I want you to see the other side of finishing that journey. I want you to notice your mannerisms. I want you to notice your disposition. I want you to notice what it is that you're doing. And then after we've observed, We're going to step in to the place of ourselves and actually perform that disposition that we're in. Perform how joyful we are, how peaceful we are in that space. Okay? So, this door that you're looking at, see it clearly. Is it a familiar door? Is it a door you've never seen before? Either way, grab the handle, open the door towards you, and step inside. So now you stepped inside this room and you see yourself. Notice where you are in the room. Notice if you're sitting or standing up. Notice your mannerisms. Notice how your face looks, how your hands move. Notice the disposition and the overall energy of yourself. How are you handling this journey? Watch yourself. Observe yourself. Are you ready? Now we're going to get closer to ourselves. So I want you to start moving toward yourself. Keep getting closer, closer, closer. Now, step into the position of yourself. Now you are performing what you were observing. Now you're standing. Now you're sitting. Now you're in position as yourself. How do you feel? How does it feel to master this journey? How do you feel reaching the higher end of this embark upon? Enjoy the experience. Take in the thoughts of yourself. Love yourself. Okay. Step outside of yourself and see yourself again. As you make your way to the door that you came in, notice how yourself is still there performing the end of the embark upon. Open the door and step out. We're going back up the stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back down the hallway, and you can open your eyes. Okay, great. Welcome back. So I want you to know that if you just completed that entire video, you have unlocked your door. Now, what I want you to do is take that energy that you just absorbed into yourself and put that behind you to move you forward into what you do next. take that knowing that you just saw yourself at the end of this embark upon. Take that energy and use it to move forward. Your mind is now open to the solutions, and the solution is with you. I want to hear from you. Email me at iamqueenoftheair@gmail.com and let me know what happened next for you. Again, we were talking about problems, but we turned our problems into an embark upon. Enjoy your journey. This is the one you have. This has been Candis with thinkingiseverything.com. Until next time, to thine own self be true. Be boundless. Be source. You are. I am. Ciao for now.